Hello and welcome to another tutorial. On this one we're going to look at the positioning of a element. So whilst I've got this kind of demonstration element here, which is a text element highlighted, I'm going to click on this button to bring up the positioning menu. And this is split into four areas. You've got sizing, display options, padding and spacing. Now sizing is quite self-explanatory. You've basically got width, height, minimum height and z-index, and you can constrain proportions. So if you change the height using your mouse, the width will change in proportion to that. Z-index basically sets the order, so if you've got several layers or several elements that overlap each other, you can use Z-index to order where they sit in the page, so you can bring elements to the front and set elements to the back. Display options are going to cover in another tutorial because it's slightly more complicated, but for most users you won't really need to worry about how any of this affects your elements. Spacing basically sets the position of the element within its parent container. So at the moment this is 30 pixels from the top and 122 from the left. If I move this to the right like so, then click that menu again, you can see I've moved the element and these figures here have updated to reflect that. Normally we talk in when talking about positioning, we're talking relative to the top and left of the page, but we can set values to position the element according to the bottom and the right. Now padding is quite important on text elements, and I'm going to change these values here to see how it affects the actual element itself. So if I set these to 50 pixels each, and we don't need to use px all the time, the system knows that we're talking in pixels, so even though I've left pixels out of these two values here, it will update it when I click apply. Okay, so now you can see that the text has space around it between the border of this element and the text itself. We now have approximately 50 pixels worth of spacing going on, or padding as we call it. Now you can see between the top line here and the top border there's looks like a bit more than 50 pixels, but that's probably because there's some margin or padding applied to this text, so it appears to be slightly more here. So we can compensate that by removing some of the padding. Change this value to 30 perhaps. There we go, it looks a bit more square. Okay, so that's how you can basically set the positioning and the padding within your element. I hope that's been useful, and thanks for watching.